Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the stocks that were in play today. Yeah, it turned out to be a big day for the markets. They had a nice recovery after the pullback heading into the close. So multiple stocks were up today, and one of the big winners was CVO. Okay, ticker symbol CVO, and it's above 50 on RSI now, so it's the first time it's been above 50 in quite some time. There's still more room to run until that 70 overbought level. You want to see Fasto get above 50 as well. The close today above the middle Bollinger Band, that's the dotted purple line here, currently at 108. That is the key level to turn into support. It closed today above the upper Bollinger Band up here at 142. That's the solid purple line. So sometimes when that happens, the candles work back into the bands. Now if the share price does continue and push forward, the next target's going to be up here at the 50-day simple moving average at 198. So that'll be the big level to break through. If it can get above 198, then you're talking about the 100-day simple moving average at 330. We'll have to see tomorrow if it can get through this 150 resistance zone. So there's a nice start today. It was a big move. If the middle Bollinger Band down here at 108 turns into support, a new uptrend should begin. Okay, let's look at BIOC. Okay, it closed above 50 as well on RSI, so it's heating up. It's been a while since it's been above 50. Fasto's above 50 as well. There was a bullish crossover on ADX. As you can see, closed up 25% today. On a volume spike. So it's a thinly traded stock, and today it had a nice volume spike, and it's a very similar chart to the CVO chart where it was in a nasty downtrend. You can see the candle started trading below the middle Bollinger Band, riding EMA's 4 and 8 support or resistance lower, and then finally, there was a close above, EMA's 4, 8, and 13 today, and the dotted purple line, which is the middle Bollinger Band. So that signals the possible start of a new uptrend. If the middle Bollinger Band currently at 75 turns into support, if it closes back below that middle Bollinger Band, it'll signal more consolidation and a risk to hold. But if it does hold, it could possibly head higher. This closing price back here on the 9th of November is a big level to break. So that's at about 92.93, and then above that is dollar land up here. The 50-day simple moving average is lined up with dollar land, and so that would be the next big target if it can get through this high close resistance zone. Notice the gap here between low of day on this candle and high of day on this candle. That gap did fill today, so we'll have to see if it can bust through the top of the gap. Okay, yeah, let's look at RAD. Made a really nice move today as well. Closed up nearly 16%. You've got RSI here in the bull zone. Fasto's now up here in the power zone. Bullish crossover here on ADX. And then the bullish move here today was the close above the 50-day simple moving average. That's the green line right here, currently at 182. That is the key level to hold on a pullback. You want to see the candle stay above that level now that there's been a close above. If it breaks back below the 50-day simple moving average, that could signal more consolidation. As long as the middle Bollinger Band holds down here at about 160, 159, then the uptrend should continue. Notice how it closed above the middle Bollinger Band here on the 21st of November, and then it took a few days turning it into support, and then finally it got above the next big level, which is the 50-day simple moving average. If the 50-day simple moving average holds, we'll be shooting for the 100-day simple moving average up here at 210. That is the next target. If you look over here, there is a gap on the chart between a high of day on this candle and low of day on this candle, and so that's lining up with the 100-day simple moving average. So that's the bottom of the gap. Many times the bottom of the gap level is a tough level to bust through. So this could signal the temporary top if it fails to break. Now if it does get above the bottom of the gap in the 100-day simple moving average, you always look for a gap fill. So a move up here to about 225, a little bit below, that would fill the gap. So yeah, RAD doing good. The calls were up nicely today. And then, let's look at CREG. Okay, so it had a nice bounce today. It had pulled back. Even though it pulled back, notice that during the run, it was up here above 70 on RSI. So it had this big flagpole, a big breakout, and then it pushed higher. It made a really huge run from basically down near $1.25 all the way up to 9.50. And so when it pushed up to 9.50, RSI was way up here above 90, and then that retraced all the way back down to 50, and it just bounced off of 50. So it's still in the bull zone, and it has a lot of juice to run. The last time that it heated up, you notice that RSI was down here at 50. So basically it stayed bullish even though it pulled back. It's bouncing off of the key support level. If you look down here, that's the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 293. As long as that level holds, the uptrend's intact. And so what you want to see now is the candles get back above the pink, lime, and orange lines, EMAs 4, 8, and 13. If they can stay above that level, then that'll signal that the uptrend's intact, and then you can be talking about a potential push back up to the upper Bollinger Band and up to high close horizontal resistance, which is the closing price here on this candle right here. And so that also lines up with that upper Bollinger Band. So it's this 575, 580 level would be the target, and then the huge level to break if the middle Bollinger Band holds. Now, if the middle Bollinger Band breaks and you see it drop below, then you're talking about a potential drop all the way down here to the 50-day simple moving average at 184. That would be the next big support. And then right below, you have the 100, 200, and 300-day simple moving average all converged around the 150 zone. Notice there was a volume spike today, but there was a long upper wick on today's candle, so that does signal some profit taking, possibly a little dilution. So yeah, we'll see if CREG can keep the uptrend going. Okay, now take a look at SING. Okay, so this stock made a nice move today. It was a good follow through, so congrats everyone. Now you have RSI above 70, Fasto above 80. It closed at high of day, so that pushed Fasto all the way up to 100. This is a chart we've been working on, and so you could see, yeah, I wanted to show you that it finally closed above the key resistance level. That was the closing price on this candle right here, and so the close above today, that is the signal that it wants to break out higher. Yesterday it closed slightly above that level. Today was the breakout above, and so it was cool to see it just follow through. It pushed very strong into high of day, and so that was a nice move, everybody. Congrats. Notice this had been in the strong sideways channel. The Bollinger Bands had gotten become very tight, and so we are looking for a break above the top of the channel to signal more upside, and so that finally happened today on the volume spikes. Notice the big volume. Yesterday was signaling it with the big volume. Volume precedes the price, so they were loading yesterday, and so now if you look at the this is the daily chart again. This is the tight Bollinger Bands I was talking about. That's why I was showing the last chart. If you pull it out too far, it gets really tight and difficult to read. Yeah, because as you can see, the Bollinger Bands were extremely tight here, and so the break above the top of the channel and through the upper Bollinger Band, that's signaling more upside potential. We wanted to see a break above 7 and a close above that level. It hadn't been able to do that for 3 months, and so it finally happened today. That should be the signal that wants to keep pushing higher. We'll see. The next big level is right here, this 10 cents level, which is the closing price here on August 14th. If it can close above that, that's going to be the signal that wants to break out higher. It could potentially hit the 10-cent level and find a temporary top and then pull back. We'll see if it can push higher. Like I said, you have a RSI and Fasto now at overbought levels. It did push up here, above 80 on RSI on the last 2 runs. Notice on the previous runs, the previous push here between July and into September, where it had a nice run, it had little ebb and flows, but it was able to sustain a nice uptrend. So this is looking like possible the start of the next push. Notice that it's the first PSAR bull flip. Notice the green dots were above the candles all the way until today. And yeah, and then the volume and then the crossovers down here on MACD. And then if we look at one more chart, this is the monthly chart for SING. And as you can see here, it was the close here in February, which is the big level to break. And so a monthly close above that level would be the signal that it wants to break out higher. That's the high close resistance level on the monthly chart. We've been looking for a break above that level for the last 3 months. This is the fourth month. 1, 2, 3. Four. This is the fourth month. If it can close above, it has to be this candle sets on the closing price on the last trading day of November, which is coming up. And so we'll see if it's going to be able to close above that level. That would signal more upside potential, and then you could potentially see a run much higher. We'll talk about that in future videos. And then yeah, one more to look at here is IGC. This is a big board marijuana sector stock. It's got a really nice uptrend going. So if you look down here, it's broke above the middle Bollinger Band down here in September, and then it's been cruising higher. It's been heading, riding middle Bollinger Band support. It got above all the moving averages here. So this is the 50, the 300, the 200, the 100-day simple moving averages. So it's trading above all the moving averages, riding, above the middle Bollinger Band, and it's riding EMA4 support higher. So it's super strong. It's pushed hard today through the upper Bollinger Band. Sometimes it takes a pause when it does that, like on this candle right here. So if that happens and it works back into the bands, you just want to see support hold. It has a nice volume behind the move, and so when a stock has a good uptrend, it's pushing hard on the daily chart, we like to look at the weekly chart to find potential next resistance zones. And then if you look here at the IGC weekly chart, you'll see it's hitting up here at this key resistance zone. So basically it's the 60 level. Notice how back here, you go all the way back into 2015, and that there was a top in the 60 zone. It pulled back. It came back up to that level in 2016. It failed to break it. It pulled back, came back up, tested it again, failed to break it. It pulled back, and then it tested it again in 2017, failed to break. It even hit it again with this candle during the month of June, pulled back, and now it's back at the level again. So this is the huge resistance level for this stock. It did break above the red line here, which is the 200-week moving average this week, and so that's a giant move. It did break above that back in the last week of October, so that was signaling more upside, and then pulled back below. Now it's back above. If it can close above the 200-week moving average for the week, that would be huge. Notice how it hadn't closed above that level in very long time, in years, and so if that level turns into support and it can break above 60, it's headed for potentially dollar land up here at the 300-week moving average. That would be the target at 97. Okay, yeah, so we're looking for a break above 60 for IGC. The Canadian marijuana sector has been running super hard, and now you have the United States sector has been really moving as well. So be sure to not miss out. You can come check us out at our chat. I'll post the link below the video. We have a marijuana sector chat going on with lots of plays. Yeah, there's so much going on. It's pretty amazing. Okay, thanks everybody.